So, hey, thank you for coming by Tory Magoo 44. Today is September 23rd, 2016, and I am here with a Facebook friend who I just met today and his lovely wife, who won't be on the video. But anyway, we're going to tell you a little bit about what happened. But we met on Facebook. They're here to visit, and so we decided, okay, we'll do the Magoo tour. So I took them around to the different buildings, and I'm going to ask Mark a little bit because it was kind of unusual what happened. So
Yes.
we first went by Author Services, which is over down Hollywood Way. And then we went by Celebrity Center where there was no one. That was empty. So that was weird because usually there's somebody there, but there was nobody. Then we went to the testing center.
Yes.
And tell them what happened there.
Well, we went to the testing center, and we walked up, and Tory started talking to one of the guys outside in the Sea Org uniform or whatever, and he was out front. And after Tory was talking to him for a few minutes and asked him some questions, I made an attempt to go in, and he blocked me. He would not let me in. And I tried again, and he said, "Get out of the doorway." Then my wife tried to go in, who, again, we weren't doing anything
They're brand new.
Other than I wanted to just go in and see it. I told him I just wanted to go in and see it. And he would not let me in.
No, they would not let him in at all.
I was denied.
Right.
And I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to be a nice guy and just go in there and look, but they would not let me in.
And the other thing we noticed is that not only did they not let them in, but they could have at least said, "Look, I'm sorry, but you can't," or something a little bit nicer. They were pretty creepy, right?
Yeah, they were creepy and robotic, and he wouldn't. I don't think he ever made eye contact with me.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, he had on sunglasses, so we couldn't really see.
Right, and he was just looking straight ahead. And then when I stepped in the doorway, that went outside, he told me to get out of the doorway.
And you have to get, when he says doorway, he's not talking about going in the door.
No,
he's talking way outside their perimeter that they say is their doorway. And so I said, is it like the Field of Dreams? I kept putting my hand in there and stuff. They have zero sense of humor at all. So we talked to a few people. They were trying to rope a few people in. And I said, it's just a giant con, move along. And most of them did. So hopefully, but it does show they're still out there all the time. Then we went down to the complex, L. Ron Hubbard Way. That was, again, very, very empty, right?
Yes.
And what happened there?
We originally pulled in, and it looked like they had already known we were coming. And Roy, the bike guard, was already looking at us, and I kind of waved to him a little bit, and he saw Tory in my front seat and knew what we were doing there. So we parked and went down, and Roy kind of followed us around.
We found Lynn Campbell.
Oh, yeah. We found Lynn Campbell
in
her shop, and we stopped and saw her.
Who has a funny thing on her side. She's an OT, whatever, class 8 who left, and they tried to do shitty stuff to her. So now she has in her window that, what is it, all Sea Org members are, get a free roll of toilet paper with, what is it, with a haircut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's got the anonymous mask in there.
And call me. The
and
big sign, call me.
And the call me.
And the website
sign. Yeah.
Oh,
so that was cool. So we grabbed Lynn, and we walked down with Lynn, and we were just strolling, and we made the turn from, Fountain onto L. Ron Hubbard Way, and we started making our way up, and Roy, the bike guard, basically followed us up the way as we walked. And then Tory here ran into someone she thought she knew, and he was a super friendly guy, and she can tell you kind of what he said, but he's in, and he was super friendly, and Tory went ahead and talked to him for a little bit.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. I thought he was someone he wasn't, but he was someone that I knew from a long time ago. I hadn't seen him in years. He didn't look that great. He was sort of limping, and I said, "Hey, hi." And he shook my hand, and I said, "How you doing?" And he said, "I'm okay. I said, "What are you doing?" Because he came out of AOLA, which is the advanced organization where they have OT 3 through 5. And he said, "I'm on OT 4 review." And I knew because he's limping, they're probably trying to say the review auditing will fix it, which I know it won't. I said, look, I just want you to know I was in for 30 years. I was on OT7 for 7 years. It doesn't really fix anything. And you can come out. There's actually auditing in the field that's much less money, and higher trained auditors and better auditors are out there, and you don't have to put up. I mentioned the FN being changed because he was around long enough for the FN to be changed, meaning, it used to be LRH was like, look at the indicators, see how they look. If they're saying, hey, I'm having a great session, I feel great, good, indicate the FN. If it just swings a little bit, now that it has to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth 3 times. So it's awful for anybody who ever was in before. And I told him, I said, the FN, you can't be having a great time with that. And we were kind of on the same page.
Yeah, he was super friendly and he was listening. And when you told him it doesn't work and it's not, and he said, oh, okay. Like he was truly listening to you.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. I was really shocked because I didn't expect someone to interact with you in that way.
Yeah,
but
they usually don't. So that was nice.
It was very interesting. I guess, Tory, the next thing I want to bring up is it was truly sad. We saw someone. Did she come out of St. Hill? Is that where she came out of?
American St. Hill. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this woman that came out, and Lynn, I should say, recognized her, and they started up a conversation. She was super friendly, but boy, she was in really, really bad shape.
Really bad shape.
It was really.
And we're not just saying that because I'm out or something.
No,
it's not. Really looked.
It's physical.
Awful.
Physically, she looked really, really bad, and it was really sad. She had some condition to where she was limping horribly. She had lost a lot of teeth. It was.
I'm sorry, but
you
feel so bad for these people
you do.
that stay, with this kind of thing.
She looked like she was, basically penniless, and it was really awful.
But she owns an apartment building. Lynn said that's why she stays, because they're all Scientologists that rent the apartments, and she can't afford to, I guess, leave because that's her income.
Right.
But it really was sad to see.
I couldn't believe when Lynn said that she was in and she was still involved, and I looked at her and it was so awful.
I know. So we've got till 10. So we 10 minutes.
Okay.
So the other thing, we went back, and what about the lady with the camera?
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this middle-aged gal
filming
us, and it was pretty surreal. Me not from being around here and having to be followed and having a camera stuck in my face like I was a criminal, and that was an eye-opener to me, but Tory obviously has seen that before. And
has he. I've seen it on the net.
Right, I've seen it on YouTube, but you can't.
It's not the same.
You can't know what it feels like till it happens to you. And I literally felt like I was a criminal being filmed doing something wrong.
Which is what they want. They want you to feel like that.
And she literally followed us. Oh my gosh, it was a block and a half.
Yeah, block and a half.
It was a block and a half. And finally, at the end, I told her, I said, ma'am, I didn't do anything. I just wanted to see the building. And she actually spoke to me and said, okay. She understood, and I think she meant it. But I was just hanging with Tory. We weren't causing any trouble or anything, and that was quite the eye opener. And boy, she looked angry and mad, and
she was ticked off.
She was stomping. She would walk in front of us like 10 feet, stomping, and then turn around and start recording us, and it was something.
And I kept saying, man has the inalienable right to free speech and free thought, over and over and over, because I know they'd probably try to splice things in it or whatever. And I wanted them, maybe they'll hear it. Somebody, that's part of your creed. For any Scientologists that are listening to this, that is your creed. Man has the inalienable right to free speech and free thought. So if you can't speak, you've got to think, okay, what's wrong with this picture? Anyway, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
And I'm really, thank you for doing the video. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was great to meet you.
Yeah.
It was fun going out there. A little spooky and creepy, but I've seen enough on YouTube where I thought,
all right, go on.
Where I thought I'd be ready for it, but I wasn't I
Okay,
wasn't.
We gotta go.
Okay.
All right. Fine.
Bye.
We gotta go.